What are they? Epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue. Already we had a discussion on epithelial tissue and connective tissue. Now let's discuss about connective tissue, muscular tissue and what? Nervous tissue. So first we will discuss about muscular tissue. Okay. So when we are talking about muscles, what is the function? What is the general function of muscles? It helps us to move. Okay. Due to muscles, due to the contraction and expansion of muscles, we are able to lift several objects. We can able to move from one place to another place. So these are the function of muscles. So again, if we can categorize the muscular tissue can be of three different types. You can see here striated muscles, unstriated muscles and cardiac muscles. One by one we will discuss. The first kind of muscular tissue is striated muscles. Striated muscles is a kind of muscles which are cylindrical in shape. If we can draw the shape of a striated muscles, this is generally cylindrical in shape. Okay. So this is the structure of striated muscles. Why the name striated means it has several bands over its surface. Bands means some dark color bands and some light color bands. Okay. Over the surface of this tissue, there are some dark and light color bands. That's why it is named as striated muscles. Okay. And one more distinct feature of striated muscle is that it has number of nucleus. It is multinucleated. Remember this. Striated muscles are multinucleated. They have more than one nucleus. Okay. So if we will go to the structure of striated muscles are generally cylindrical in structure. They have what? Dark and light color bands over their body. That's why it is named as striated muscles. These are called striation. Okay. This tendency of formation of dark and light band is called striation. That's why the name is striated muscles. And it has number of nucleus over its surface. It is multinucleated. Okay. Now come to the function. It is attached to the skeleton. As striated muscles are attached to the skeleton of our body, we can also name it as skeletal muscles. Remember, striated muscles are also called as skeletal muscles because they are attached to the skeleton. By the help of striated muscles, we can move our different parts of our body. And remember, striated muscles are helpful for the movement of our own. Means we can move our hand by our own, we can move our leg by our own, we can move our neck by our own. So the movements which are under our control are by striated muscles. That's why this kind of movement is called voluntary movement, or this kind of muscles is also called voluntary muscles. Striated muscles are also known as skeletal muscles as they are attached to the skeleton. They are also called as voluntary muscles as they provide voluntary movement. What is voluntary movement? Movement by our own will. By our own we can move. Okay, we can move our hand, leg and all when we want. Okay, this is called what? Voluntary muscles. Next come to unstriated muscles. The name itself is the same. Unstriated means there will be no striation over it. There will be no band over it. And if you will see the structure of it, it is generally spindle shaped. Okay. Somehow like this in structure. Okay. This is the structure of what? Unstriated muscles. So it do not have bands over it and it has only single nucleus at the center. Remember, got it the difference? It has bands over its surface. It do not have bands. That's why it is called as unstriated muscle. These are multinucleated, but these are having single nucleus. Okay? And these kind of muscles are present on the walls of digestive system, digestive tract and urinary bladder. On the walls of digestive tract and urinary bladder, the kind of muscles that are present are striated muscles. Okay? So here we have talked about voluntary movement. Here these muscles provide involuntary movement. the muscles which are the movement of muscles which are not under our control. Okay, that means the movement of our internal organs. Suppose take an example of stomach, urinary bladder. They all can contract and expand, but not under our will. They all have movement as per their comfortability. This kind of movement is called what? Involuntary movement, and that's why unshredded muscles are also called as involuntary muscles. Remember this. Shredded muscles are called voluntary muscles because we can move this by our own will. Unshredded muscles are called involuntary muscles because we cannot move it by our own will. Okay. Now come to cardiac muscles. The name itself suggests. What is cardiac? Cardiac means heart. Okay, that's why we can say cardiologists. Okay, those who are the doctor of heart, we call them cardiologists. So cardiac muscles are the kind of muscles which are present only on heart. So the muscles of heart is made up of what? Cardiac muscles. And if you will see the structure of cardiac muscles, it is just like striated muscles, but little difference in it. Just cylindrical in structure, but at the middle it is branched. Okay, it has branches at the middle. Okay. Got it? It has branches, and again it also has strips over its wall. It also has bands over its wall that are dark and light colored bands, but they have single nucleus. Got it? What? They are same as striated muscles, means they also contain dark and light colored bands, but they have only single nucleus. But striated muscles are having what? More nucleus, multinucleated. Striated muscles do not form branches, but cardiac muscles can form branch. Okay, this is the difference. So this is present only in heart, and it is also having involuntary movement because the contraction and expansion of heart is not under our control. Already we have discussed this part in class 6 about heart. The movement, the contraction and the relaxation. Why heart contracts and relax? To pump blood throughout our body. Okay, so it is also performing the involuntary function or the involuntary movement. So these are the three kinds of muscles: unshredded muscles, shredded muscles, and cardiac muscles. Unshredded muscles are also called as voluntary muscles. Shredded muscles are also called as voluntary muscles. Unshredded muscles are also called as involuntary muscles. And cardiac muscles is a special kind of muscles present only on the walls of heart, and these are also involuntary in action. Okay. Now come to nervous tissue. This is the last part, or this is the last topic. What is the nervous tissue? The fourth kind of tissue. Already we have discussed muscular tissue. Now we are discussing nervous tissue. Nervous tissue or neuron. What is the work of the nerves present in our body? Actually, see, when you are sleeping, and sometimes suppose a mosquito is biting, suddenly in your sleep also you can beat the mosquito. How? You got the sensation. Okay, you can feel the biting of mosquito. That is due to nervous system, or that is due to nerves. Any sensation, when you will unmindfully you can touch an hot object, then suddenly you take out your hand. That is due to sensation. Okay, when you got slapped from your teachers, suddenly you feel pain. Okay, that is called sensation. So that sensations are taken or carried by nervous tissues. Okay, so nervous tissues takes sensation from the external environment to our body. Okay, so if we will talk about a nerve cell or a neuron looks like this. Nervous tissues are made up of number of nerve cells, and each nerve cells are called neuron. Okay, so here only a single nerve cell I have done. This is a diagram of a neuron or a nerve cell. If we can see here, this part, We call it as what? Cell body. This is cell body. So cell body contains a central nucleus and cytoplasm. These are the what? Cytoplasm. Okay. If you can see towards the end of the cell body is also known as cyton. Okay. Cyton. Okay. If you can see the extension of cell body, it forms branching or just like roots. Okay. It somehow looks like roots. These branching or root like structure we call it as dendrons or dendrites. Okay. Dendrites. Dendrites are the branchings that comes out from cyton or cell body. So this is a cell body. Cell body contains what? Nucleus and cytoplasmic content. Cell body gives extension or branching. It is called dendrons. Okay. So one of the dendron of this from the cell body extends downward. You can see it extends downward. It is called axon. Axon. Okay. So the extension of a single dendron is called axon, and the covering of the axon is called as myelin sheath. In short, only I am writing. Okay. Myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is the covering of axon. What are the function of all this? I will tell you. Don't worry. So this is the cell body. The extension of cell body in the form of branching is called as what? Dendrons or dendrites. The extension of dendron in a long manner or a long pattern we call this axon. The covering or the sheath present over axon is called myelin sheath. Again you can see these are here. These are called axon terminal. This is the axon and here it ends, okay, with the same branching. We call it as axon terminal. Okay, axon terminal. So to the end of the axon, again one more cyton will be there here. Okay, here again one more cyton will be there, which will be connected to the axon terminal. Okay, like this. The same cyton as we have done above. Again it will have an extension. It will have a central body. Okay, again it will have an extension, and this extension we can call it as what? Axon, the same as above. So one neuron get connected to another neuron. This neuron get connected to another neuron. So this combination of neuron forms the nervous tissue. This is one neuron. So now let's talk about the functions. So you can see the dendrites here. Whenever suppose we can take the example of mosquito biting. Okay, so when the mosquito is biting, we can feel the biting or the sensation of mosquito. That is received by the dendrites. Dendrites receives the signal and then passes the signal to the cell body or cyton. Okay, first the signal is being received by the dendron and they passes it into cell body. Cell body takes the signal and they again passes it into axon. Axons takes the signal and again they passes it into axon terminal. Axon terminals takes the signals and again they passes it into the next cyton. This cyton in the same way again passes it to another cyton. Like this it will reach up to our brain, and when our brain will receive the signal, it will command our hand to beat the mosquito. Got it? So nervous tissue works as a receiving part. It receives the signal and it sends the message to brain. So think how fast the conduction is. As soon as we are touching the hot object, we are taking out our hand. Means how fast the sensation is carried out to our brain, so that our brain commands our hand to take it out. Okay, one small example I am giving. If you have observed the abnormal, patients, those who are mentally retarded, they do not have a well grown mind. Sometimes what happen, they receive little late. Okay, when you can say something or anything, the receiving or the capturing power of the abnormal child or the abnormal patients are little late. Why? Because their neurons are not functioning quickly. They are receiving the signal, but the signal takes little time to reach out to brain. So brain's command also, it is coming little late. That's why they are receiving little late. Okay, so that is the other part. The main function of nervous tissue is to take the signal and to send the signal to brain, so that the brain can command for the signal. Okay, so this is the structure of neuron. Again, you can go through your book, it is also there. So this is very important also. Neurons are the cells of nervous tissue. The combination of neurons forms the nervous tissue or the nervous system. Their main function is to carry the signal and to give it to our brain, so that our brain can respond to it. So these are the types of animal tissues. So 4 categories we have already discussed. What are the 4 categories we have discussed? Epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue. So again go through the topic, again go through your book, make a very short notes for this. Okay, these all topics are very important in your higher class also. You will need this topic. Again some more extension part also you will have in your higher class. But the basic is very necessary. Okay, so next class we will go to our next topic.